What up? This is Robert Horry.
Or three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Squeezing in a quick nap at the top of episode 260 is seven-time NBA champion Robert Horry. I'm Rob Jenners, that's B-Dog Brandon Harper, and this is the Big Shot Bob podcast. We're a day late, that's my fault. We had some stuff going on yesterday. However, kind of worked out in our favor, because what normally would have been around the time that I would have hit post on the show, Jason Kidd got fired. And I was like, oh my goodness. There's your post-credit scene for this week. Mm-hmm. But we had a lot going on. We had the Knicks last night. We had, I got Jason Harden stuff on here. I got Jason Kidd stuff on here. We had game one of the Western Conference Finals. Game two's tonight. Where do you want to start, big man?
You know, it's so weird talking about the Western Conference Finals. It was actually a good game. You know, Christian was like, man, that's the best game I ever saw. I'm like, wait.
You said it was actually a good game, like there was a chance that it wasn't.
No, not that's not. You think about how San Antonio played Minnesota. That wasn't a good game. You think about how, they played the Lakers. OKC. That wasn't a good game. I'm talking about went back and forth. That's how I say it was a good game. Okay. No, I don't really like blowouts. And so, I thought it was
fun to watch.
I thought it was a really good game. Yeah. But it reminded me, of course, of when Dream sat there and watch David get the MVP, and then Wemby sits there and watch Shai gets the MVP. Then he goes off and does what he do. I just thought it was a great back and forth game. A lot of great guard play, and I know I had, of course, being here in LA, I had some people like, why the heck OKC could miss shots like that when they played the Lakers? I'm like, nobody missed a shot against the Lakers.
I was funny because I was watching that game. Mm-hmm. And San Antonio was down 3, and I saw the shot that Wemby made from like the same spot Steph made, that shot where he just comes up and he's like a couple feet past the logo and he just pulls up and fires it. And the first thing that goes into my head is, oh, Rob is screaming at the TV right now. Why is he taking that shot? Well, and then it goes in, ties the game, and I was like, oh God. I mean, just a 7-footer shooting from that far out. I'm like, oh no.
I guess because I've been in this position, and I love how basketball doesn't define people anymore. You think about the era before me. If you're over this high, you're a center. You don't shoot this. You don't shoot that. Yeah. Don't put someone's talent in a box. If they got talent to do whatever, let them do it. That's what basketball is about, showcasing your talent. And I think Wemby, even though sometimes he falls in love with the three, but that one was a pull-up three, but it was deep, but he can shoot it because he's like a catapult. He can just shoot that thing from anywhere. But I do love the fact also, he says, y'all go put this little fucking Caruso on me. I'm going to punish his ass.
Yeah, that was funny.
And I'm sitting there saying, like, you're a smart coach, but you're a dumb coach. Caruso, he could guard one of the best players in the league, Joker, because Joker can't jump. So you can do that, but you can't guard a guy who plays above, not the rim, not above the box, but above the backboard. You cannot put Caruso little ass on him. You're going to have to put Hartenstein on him, I know. And, everybody's wondering why they're not putting Chet on, because he'll own Chet, have Chet in foul trouble. So you got to beat him up. You got to beat him up with Hartenstein. That way he just can't get those easy lobs. But I'm loving the game. I can't wait for the game tonight.
Yeah. This series is indicative of what we saw in the regular season from them, where the Spurs owned them. And I know you can't take everything from the regular season and place it into the playoffs, because the playoffs are a different moment and different time. But this is the series where when you start talking about matchups, the thing that gives OKC trouble is that the Spurs have the guard play and the depth at guard to match up with their guards. Stephon Castle ain't just giving SGA anything. Dylan Harper ain't just giving SGA anything. They run deep, and De'Aaron Fox didn't even play. Mm-hmm. So that's another guy that will be inserted back into this lineup, and obviously Dylan Harper will probably go back to the bench, even though he played a hell of a game.
He played really well.
Yeah, he did. And he showed in that moment that, hey, this is where I belong. I'm not scared of any of this. They asked me to come into this game to be aggressive, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I need Stephon Castle to cut back on them turnovers. Yeah, he had 11 assists, but he had 11 turnovers.
Yeah.
And I did not like how, and I get, you go to Wemby, but I didn't like how in that second overtime, he wasn't aggressive in going to the basket.
Wemby?
No, Stephon Castle. It felt like
Fatigue set in.
yeah, but you know what? Everybody had fatigue. Hell, Wemby had fatigue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Castle threw him a nice little lob there
He
right
did.
at the end.
I'm not knocking that,
right
but
at the end, that was a nice little seal,
I would have liked him to see in both those overtimes. He's hell when it comes to him attacking. He's crazy when it comes to attacking the basket. Just like there was one point in overtime where he attacked the basket and just went up and dunked it. That's what I'm talking about, that level of aggression. And I do want to see more of that from Stephon Castle. But let me tell you, when Wemby knocked that shot down, I'm going to say it like this. That was a nuts drop type of shot. My nuts done dropped. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Here.
It was a ballsy shot.
That's what ballsy, nuts dropped, or whatever.
It was one of those things where I'm like, but to your point, Rob, when you have that old school mentality, everything inside of me screamed the minute I saw him pull up from where he pulled up from. Now I know he's a freak, he's an alien. You don't think about that stuff with him. And you're right. The NBA today is positionless basketball largely. It's you got skills, you got them from everywhere on the floor. But every bell and whistle in my head was like, no! And I think Caruso was the same way. Caruso was so far off him. Like, Caruso was inside the arc already. Wembanyama was like, all right, screw it. I got no one even close to me. So, I don't know.
I also, when I'm watching them, like, if you're a smart coach, meaning OKC, I'm like, dude, why are y'all going for Wemby's pump fake? You ain't gonna block the damn shot anyway. Yeah. So just stay on the ground.
Just take the charge, man. Yeah.
It's like guys don't understand. Like, dude, what are you doing? If I'm them, I'm picking Wemby up. Once he cross half court, I'm bodying him. I'm keeping my arms up. I'm just chest and body him, try to wear him down because I noticed that he gets tired quickly. Right. And so when you body him like that, he gets tired. So you got to try to put some force into his game to try to wear him down.
Yeah, he obviously he hits the ground a lot too, and it's a long way down, it's a long way up.
Like that.
Yeah, it's a long way down, it's a long way up. So the thing with Wemby is outside of the measurements and everything like that, it's the mentality. To be a guy who looks across there and seeing a guy like XGA get the MVP trophy, that does something. The series itself already does something to you because you understand how dynamic it is when you two teams get together. But to see him receive that trophy, that had to do something extra to Wemby. Say, you know what? Cool. You got the MVP. But not only am I going to show you what the Defensive Player of the Year looks like, I'm gonna make people think twice about whether or not you should have won that MVP. And to have 41
and 24 rebounds
and 3 blocks, 3 blocks is on the lower end of what he usually gets with the blocks.
One of them late though in second double overtime when it really counted.
Yeah, I think it's a reason why only so many guys have ever done that. And for him to do that at the age of 22 years old, we're going to see that numerous times throughout his career, I believe.
To your point, though, youngest player in NBA history to do 40 and 20 in a playoff game.
It's just the way he looks while doing these things is unlike anything we've ever seen. There's no disrespect to any other big man, but most of those big men aren't bringing the ball up the floor like he is. Yeah, he moves. He's the size of he moves like a guard.
Did y'all notice one thing though?
What's that?
Just is how it's like that little kid. Like, don't you take another step? Take another step. He took another step the other night. Did you see it?
Yeah.
When he ran Caruso over, he lowered his shoulder and says, "Boom." It's like I can elbow a motherfucker in the chest. You don't find me. He's pushing the limits now.
Okay.
So
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So
he didn't get punished for it once, so now he's gonna be like, I wonder how much I can get away with here. Yeah.
And it's like he just straight lowered his shoulder, like, boom. Okay, take that, Caruso.
Yeah. But you know what though? I like the mentality because it's one of those things you're not gonna push me around. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna happen. And I think when you put that with the ability and the size and the talent, you can't do anything but respect it. Now, don't push that line too much because they could. One day they're gonna suspend you. But I like that thought process because it permeates through the rest of the team.
He's got to find out though where the line is. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to go, how far can I go before somebody catches a suspension?
Also, I want to give a big up to the coaching staff. As far as just, how you took Carter Bryant, and Carter Bryant was playing great defense on Shai. He's like, hey, Carter, I'm only going to play you like 10 to 15 minutes. So your job is to just pick up Shai full court, make it hard on him, wear his legs out so that jump shot won't fall. And and that's what you have to do. Sometimes, coaches have them think, and this is what I put in, the coaches are so dumb nowadays. They think, well, if I put this guy in, he's a good defensive player, but he's not going to give me anything on the other end, so I'm not going to play him. So you rather take that guy that can maybe, and no guarantee, maybe knock down a shot and let him guy easily blow by him on the other end to get the guy's confidence, a la New York. And so, I love the fact that coach says, fuck that. Defense is very important. Putting the onus on the guy to score on a guy in defense, okay, you can play 15 minutes. If you foul him, so biggie, And I want to give a big ups to the coaching staff for the Spurs for, doing that. Because a lot of coaches wouldn't take that chance. Oh, he's a liability on offense. Man, this is the playoffs. You need to play some defense. That's sometimes.
I just like, outside of Wemby, I just like watching their guards play. I like the level of aggression that they play. It's no wonder that the times when Wemby were out, they still had a winning record because their guards put so much pressure on everybody. They penetrate the basket. They run the floor. They are really good defenders. They're aggressive defenders. They let you know from the jump that, we know you're the defending champs. We don't care. It's our time now. Now, this is going to be a long series. I expect I expect SGA to come out in game 2 firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. You would think, right?
I expect him to go for 30-plus in game 2. One, because they have to. They do not need to go now 0-2 going back to San Antonio. That does not bode well.
What did he put up in that first game? I don't even remember.
24?
24.
But he didn't shoot well.
But he was a minus 15 on the court.
Yeah, he didn't shoot
worst on the team. But he was 7 for 23. And for me, I think if I'm the starter team, and I know Jalen Williams, that was your first game back.
Yeah.
There's no way you taking 25 shots in that game unless they like layups. You think about it. He took 25 shots, Jalen. And I thought he took one of those threes at the end of the game for dude, why are you running the play for him? His rhythm is off. Run a play for Caruso. He was a hot guy.
Yeah, he was hot as fish grease.
But it's so many things that I look at, this is one of the things that I want to talk about in the next series, where you go back to, let's go back to the Rockets. It's old school. You probably don't remember where the Rockets were playing the Clippers down 3-1. James Harden's having a terrible game for the Rockets, and the coaching staff says, "Fuck it, was it Josh or Joe Smith out of Atlanta?
Josh Smith.
Oh, Josh, yeah.
Josh Smith is carrying us. He ain't carried us all year. James Harden did this on the bench. Fuck it, I'm off tonight, and you let that team rock. And sometimes you just gotta let a team roll. I don't get, and I get so mad. Well, this is my heart and soul. Fuck that. It ain't about who's on the court. It's about who's playing well on the court, and that's what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah.
To your guys' point, Shai had 24 points on 7 of 23.
Yeah.
Just struggled.
He started out poorly.
Yeah, just struggled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love the series, though. I think both of you guys are right. The way that these two teams pair up, it's going to be great. I hope all the games are as good as that first game was.
And I think one of the things that doesn't work in Shai's favor, at least it didn't for game 1, I can't say for the rest of the series. I don't know how many times he got to the line, but they allowed them to play. And Shai predicates a lot of his game on contact. And
there were a lot of
memes
about this. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
When you're not able to do that, I think that does take away aspects of his game to where when he's struggling, it's tough for him to get going because he's not very prone or keen to accepting a lot of that contact without somebody blowing a whistle. And that's what happened in game 1. So we'll see what happens in game 2. But game 1, they swallowed their whistle a little bit, at least in that first half.
Because you're going to look at, it's all about who's reffing. and if they know the NBA needs this series to go 7.
Well, they do. I thought the memes were very unfair though, because there was a lot of like when Shai doesn't get the whistle, and it was like him in a Burger King uniform. Like it was like they were very unfair. Like that if he didn't get he's not getting the whistles, he might as well be
And I'll say this, I really wanted to say, I guess save this for after, but if we're talking about conspiracy theory, did y'all see the little conspiracy theory that people had about the promo that they were running for the next round of the Eastern Conference Finals? How the NBA made a mistake and ran before the Game 7 of Cleveland and Detroit. They ran the promo for the Eastern Conference Finals, and they had the Cavs versus the Knicks before Game 7 of the Knicks. And
That's happened
the
before,
Detroit.
though. This has happened before.
But it had all the speculation, and then it just so happened that the Cavs did beat Detroit, and that was Game 1 of the Finals, and everybody saying like, well, dang. I think it's in the best interest of the NBA, and I'll say this now. The best interest of the NBA is to have a Spurs-Knicks Finals.
Why would you say that?
Well, because one, with the Spurs, you have the face of the league, or future face of the league in Wemby, on the biggest stage, and then you have the New York market.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a win-win.
They definitely want the Knicks. I'll give you that.
The market for the Knicks is so powerful that it doesn't matter who comes out of the West, because the West is going to win it anyway.
I'm rooting for whoever come out the West, but I do think from a opposite
you
end.
ain't got to root. It's going to happen. The West is winning it all.
Right.
You don't have to root.
No,
you got to root for them.
I'm rooting for them because I can't stand to see a New York team win. I don't want to see the Knicks win. I don't want to hit a mouth.
Well,
I don't.
Oh man,
you got to hear it today.
I mean, I will give Shai credit. If you look, I'm not gonna call any names. We know who these players are. Like when he want to foul, he just looks and points and get up. He don't cry and whine like a lot of players do. He just gets up and goes to the other end. He points at him like, yo, Shai.
It must be two Shais.
No, watch him. He didn't. I ain't gonna call the names. Like, let's think.
Okay.
Of some players when they don't get the call, how they stop. Look at the ref. The players going on to the other end.
Oh, it's a bunch of them.
Yeah, and I'm just saying. But Shai last night, he understands the severity of the game and how you got to get your ass up and get back.
Can I give you two of them? Because two of them on the same team.
No, we don't name their names. No, don't name their names.
Okay.
Rob is strategically avoiding these names.
But are we But can I say this? Are we in agreement that two may be on the same team?
Yes, we are.
Okay, cool. That's all I want to know.
Three.
Cool.
Three on the same team.
Okay. All right, cool. We'll leave it alone. Cool. I get it.
Depends on how deep down the Lakers roster you want to go.
I didn't say that. None of us said that. He said that. We didn't say that. It's 30 other teams in the league we could have talked about. Nah, we didn't say that. We didn't say nothing about the Lakers.
Oh, no, that's right. Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, okay. Anonymous team number 1. Yeah. In the Coke Pepsi taste test. Yeah, exactly right. All right. Well, look. I really hope that we got Game 2 tonight in OKC. I agree with you. I think whoever comes out of the West is gonna be hell on earth for whoever comes out of the East. But last night's game, Cleveland just gave that shit away last night. That was just like they were up. What were they up? 22, 21? With like 7 minutes left or something. Mm-hmm. And I think
44-11.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, 44-11. And then it was 8-19. They were down by 20. Knicks were down by 22 with 8-19 left in the game. And with 7 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the game, the Cavs had a 99.9% win probability.
What did Reggie Miller do?
Yeah. Big time, dude. Big time.
I've never seen a team slap that bitch in cruise control.
Dude, and that's really what it was. You're right, though. That's what it felt like, man.
It's about as bad as the Oilers up on the Buffalo Bills. They slapped that bitch in cruise control. It's like, we don't want this one.
Coast.
And all of a sudden, the guy by the name of Jalen Brunson, just ran. But this pisses me off about coaching. I think the Knicks should have lost that game because they got out coached. Mm-hmm. Because what they did was, we're going to put the ball in our go-to guy, Brunson, and we're going to isolate James Harden. I'm like, and by the time you said, damn, he done scored 6 in a row on James? Oh, let's double team him. It's too fucking late because it ain't about the rhythm of one player. It's about the rhythm of the team. He got the team going. He got the crowd going. Next thing you know, the New York Knicks coach did a smart thing. You know what? Let's put Shaman in the game. And I don't understand why they have never played him, even when Thibodeau was there. This dude is a smart player. He knows how to play defense. He takes great shots. Boom, he plays great defense on everybody. He knocks down a three. Okay, then boom, we get to going. And for me, that was the biggest moment. Not what Brunson was doing, not the 2 shots that Bridges made, but it's what Shamet brought to them defensively. He made them all pick up defensively. And you think about other teams that have played New York. New York says, okay, I'm going to take a page out of what other teams did to us. We're going to find the worst defensive player and put him on our best offensive player. And I'm just going to go at it. And you don't stop him. And next thing you know, once a player get hot, I don't care who you are as a defensive player, you can't do nothing but tap him on the back. It's a good shot. And the Knicks did that, and I'm looking at the Cavs like, you big dummies. It was like Lamont Sanford over there, just a big dummy.
Right.
Big dumb dummy.
What happens also, I think, with the Cavs is they stop going through Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan was nowhere to be found at a certain extent of that time in the fourth quarter.
I didn't understand that either.
But you take that away from Donovan Mitchell and you start going through James Harden. Number one, Kobe said this a long time ago, and it still reigns true today. You know, Kobe was not just a great basketball player on the floor. He had a great mind. And when he said this, it reigns true today. The way James Harden plays basketball is not conducive to winning. To put your offense through James Harden when all he does is dribble, take the air out of the ball, he's either going to put up a bad shot or he's either going to turn the ball over. And I'm tired of watching him take the air out of the ball and then turn the ball over or want to get a ball up with 2 seconds left in the shot clock. It is absolutely ridiculous. If you're going to run your offense through James Harden, you might as well kiss this series goodbye. Because I'm not saying that he won't have good moments, but he's going to have good moments at the expense of the series. Yeah. Now, if that's what you're willing to do as Cleveland, cool, deal with it. But the way that Donovan Mitchell was playing throughout that game, how he came out hot, there's no way in the world that you don't continue to run through him. I don't understand it. And my thing is, if you're Kenny Atkinson, why the hell are you keeping these timeouts in your pocket? When you know that your team is out of whack and they're on a run, you call timeouts to kill the momentum. Yeah. But no, I like holding on to my timeouts. What, you got a collection of them at your house?
Can't do that.
No.
It was just when he was holding on to this timeout and that run in the New York. Everybody know the Knicks, their fan base, when they get behind them, it makes them better. And you had them fucking about to head for the door. And then I'm looking at him one time like, why the fuck is Max Strus on the bench? Why is get fucking Dean Wade out of the game? It was just so many mistakes that Kenny made, and I love Kenny. I think he's one of the great coaches in the league. But last night, I don't know if it was the moment because this is his first time there, and he said, "I'm gonna rock with my stars," and you just can't do that. I thought the way Schroeder played by pushing the ball up was great, but when I got mad at Schroeder, sometimes Donovan Mitchell's there. He looked at Donovan Mitchell like, "No, I'm gonna go to James Harden because he's a star." It's like, no. James at one point should have been on the bench, and I love James, but 1 for 8 from 3, 5 for 16. This comes a point where, like, James, you ain't got it tonight. And you play James the most minutes out of everybody on the fucking team? He's too old for that. Stop it. He's got too many minutes on his body. Sit his ass on the sideline. Put Strus in the game. Donovan Mitchell, bring it up. It was just so many things. I'm looking at you like, why are you doing this, coach? Take James out, especially when they started going at his ass.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's where it really started to change. That's where all the momentum started changing. Yeah. They just went straight at him.
And game one was probably your best chance if you're Cleveland to get a team that has had a lot of rest. That rest looked like rust at the beginning of that game. And you squandered that lead. What you not also did was not only did you lose game one, but you allowed a team to shake off all the rust and say, dang, even on our worst day, we were able to come back from 22 down. Oh, anything can go well for us now. We can win in any moment doing anything, and that's exactly how they're going to come about it in game two. And somebody said this about Jalen Brunson. We can say anything we want about Jalen Brunson. Everybody better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson. and when we're in those moments, and when you got James Harden standing in front of you, like Shaq always say, barbecue chicken. And I'm pretty sure that's what Jalen Brunson was thinking every single time he got ISO with James Harden. And I think anybody that has a scorer's mindset should feel that same way about James Harden if you see him defending you. And that's exactly what it looked like.
And this is one of the things, I don't understand, like, when teams want to get that matchup and get that switch, I don't understand. you come off this like, oh, they just automatically switch. Like, no, you don't automatically switch. And it's so high that a guy can get under it and recover. But guys now defensive are so fucking lazy. I'm like, I go back to the way that the Celtics played Luka in the finals that year. They're like, no, fuck that. Fight over, put our best defender on him, make it tough on him. Nobody wants to fight over a screen and make it tough. I'm like, okay, let me lag here. Come on. One time, James like, yo, come on, get on over here. And the guy like, you on that island on your... No, run your ass over there. And by the time he did all that, it was just too fucking late. And I just think about, when I was talking about coaches being smart and rocking with their best player, you think about Josh Hart. Josh Hart had an awful night. You know, okay, let's try something on Shamit. Yeah, he played really well. He was 3 for 3 from 3, a plus 25, better than anybody on the team. And you got to rock with guys. Sometimes your best players just don't have it. And for him to say, okay, Josh Hart, come on over here and sit next to me. Shamit, go do your thing. And I appreciate it. I really appreciate the coaches, because I played with some coaches when you look at them like, you just put your best player back in the game and he's fucking sucking tonight, and then you go to him for the final shot. What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
And you got to give credit to coaches sometimes.
And what they also did last night was you also give OG Anunoby another game to get healthy. Like that was his first game back. He had been out for a while nursing, what was it, a hamstring or a quad strain or something like that.
One of them.
Yeah.
And he didn't have his best game. And he's arguably been the hottest player for the Knicks. No disrespect to Jalen Brunson, but we saw him through the Atlanta series.
Down that stretch.
Yeah.
Yes,
So what you do is you give him another opportunity to get healthier, knowing that, dang, he didn't have his best game and they found a way to come back and win. This doesn't bode well for Cleveland in game 2, because you squandered your opportunity to get home court advantage back, and you allowed that you melted that away. So I don't know what game 2 going to look like. You've given that city, a city as annoying as New York, you've given them all, I would hate to say, more energy than what they already have. That's ridiculous. You lit a fire. Yeah, it's bad now. It's bad.
Listen, so we mentioned Harden in this discussion. I just want to briefly bring this up because we haven't really talked about it, was the way he performed in Game 7 against Detroit. Obviously, that carried over into what we saw in Game 1. Just not great. The head shot thing where he caught a foul for throwing his head back. And who was it? Somebody on the sidelines. Was JB on the sidelines, I think, was just like doing the same momentum. Like, he's throwing his head back. No one even touched him. He's throwing his freaking head back, and he's catching whistles.
Yeah.
And we had JB, actually, I wanted to play this. We had JB talking about Harden after the game and his ability to manipulate the rules, which I thought was pretty funny. Oh, that's not the right button.
He's got an unbelievable ability to manipulate what the rules are, right? And we were together 4 years in in Houston. And, you would watch him, and he and I would play one-on-one. And he would foul bait me, you know what I mean? Like, he would I'm serious, like, he would only get to play offense and I would play defense. And he would practice those things and he would work on them, even just playing one-on-one versus me. So it's like he has a great understanding of the rules and then how to manipulate them in his favor.
It's J.B. Bickerstaff, head coach of the Pistons, after Game 7.
I mean, yeah.
I'm look, for all the good and the bad we throw at James Harden, I feel like these Game 7 moments and these like big pivotal playoff moments where he doesn't show up or he has the nights like he's had here, I'm starting to get like this, man, that's really going to start to define. That's going to be the definition of his career when his career ends. They'll be like, oh, he was a great player, made a lot of money, never showed up when it counted. And it's like he's going to have to start to change that narrative at some point, and he hasn't done anything for it so far. In that series with Detroit, they're lucky they got out of that the way they did. And he's got to do something to change that narrative as we start to get through the Eastern Conference Finals. Because if it's going to be like it was last night, all the way through, this ain't going to go well for Cleveland.
No.
This just ain't going to go well for them.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you look at him like I hate to say this, but he's 36 years old. And he looked tired last night. He looked uninterested in the game. He looked tired. And think about it, he had a wide open three. I've never seen James Harden shoot an air ball, uncontested air ball. Mm-hmm. And then I saw him hit like the side of the backboard. I'm like, damn, what's going on with James? I'm like, he looked tired, man.
Yeah.
But I think Donovan Mitchell got to go for 40 and 20 or something like that. For him he's just going to have to put it in his hands and take over. I know he talked about being able to sleep in his own bed because he lives right outside of New York. Dude, you better get your ass in the hotel.
Something. Treat it like a road game. Yeah.
Treat it like a road game because you're going to need Donovan Mitchell to step up.
Big time. Well, look, like I said, I'm kind of glad that we punted this week's show a day because we didn't talk about it yet, but we did mention at the top of the show. Any surprise from you guys? Jason Kidd getting fired in Dallas?
No, I think I heard some rumblings about them parting ways and trying to go in another direction. So I'm not necessarily too surprised.
Rob?
I'm kind of surprised, just because he's just one of the coaches that were highly sought after, but I do understand why, because if I'm an owner and I just bought this team, and I'm not happy with the way things are going, it's not like you stepping into like the Warriors situation where you step in, they fucking winning, I'm coming out like I want a new head coach. I got all these picks. I got some young blood. I need a fresh start. And I can see it happening because if you're not like a coach that's won a lot of stuff, we gonna go out and get someone like Thibodeau. Someone.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
You know what it is I think the contract was a little sideways too. 4 years and $40 million left in his Mavericks contract. So he had some time there. Like you said, Rob, the management, you got a new GM there. You want to make a lot of changes. You got new management really starting to get the foothold on the franchise. I get it. The only other part of this was there were rumors about him wanting out of that situation because the rumblings being, I guess to B-Dog's note here, he expressed desire to be promoted to president of basketball operations after Nico got popped. Mm-hmm. And he was informed that, that's not happening. So you can remain the head coach or you can be gone. And apparently be gone was the answer.
Yep.
So a lot of questions now in Dallas, man.
Hey, I'm so many coaches like, fuck, you want to fire me? Go ahead. I can sit my ass on the couch and still make $10 million.
Yeah,
Shit.
Dude, sign me up for that job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you guys are recruiting. And then we also mentioned this, so I got to bring it up. SGA wins the MVP. We talked about it a little bit. Second MVP, league MVP, 14th player in league history to win back-to-back MVPs, the third player to average 30 points a game in consecutive MVP campaigns, joining Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not bad company for SGA. Not bad company at all. He gave everybody on the team Rolexes, was it last year? And then this year was
trench coat.
The coats, the Burberry trench coats, the Pigu or however you pronounce it, watches. They all got new watches.
Piguettes.
Piguettes, whatever they're called. Yep. Yeah, I mean they all got like really fancy ass. And then they got golf clubs. Like you saw all the bags, the golf bags in the locker room when they came in. So yeah, he showered them.
Let me just say this: Dream and Shaq didn't give a shit.
Well, you need to take that up with Dream and Shaq.
You got a more direct line to both those gentlemen than I do.
Yeah.
Hey, I think the statute of limitations are ran out of that.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. Look, there's some back pay that can be given.
No, but you know what? I really appreciate when guys do things for their teammates. And Shaq called us all out because he knows without us he couldn't have got in. So did Dream. So I really appreciate when they do that. And I think what Shai is doing now, he's taking to a whole nother level. Because I wonder what Jokic did for his team, what Giannis did for his team when they got MVP. So I probably nothing, but I appreciate,
we don't know.
I appreciate that SGA because you can't get that without your teammates.
Well, and to your point, season leaders, by the way, points per game was Luka, rebounds per game was Jokic, assists per game was Jokic, blocks per game was Wemby, and SGA won MVP. So he didn't lead a single category of the big ones, and won because I think largely to your point, Rob, you got to have the guys around you. You look great when you got a team of guys that are doing their part. You can look the best. So he wins.
But also, you can say he did have the #1 record in basketball.
Yeah, no, very much so. He did.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Thunder have had 4 MVPs in the last 12 years. How about that?
That's crazy.
Durant, Westbrook, and now SGA twice.
Yep.
So there you go. I do want to play this audio for you before we get off of this MVP conversation.
How many teams that in the league that has never had an MVP?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I know one for sure.
I know one for sure too.
I don't think the Hawks have never had one.
And Dominique was never.
No.
Okay, that probably would have been your only real contender. There would have been Dominique Wilkins. Who did you think of one, Rob?
Cleveland, because LeBron won his MVPs
LeBron never won an
Miami.
MVP in Cleveland.
I thought he won them in Miami, didn't he?
He very well
had
could
to win
have,
one
yes,
in
but
Cleveland.
he didn't win any in Cleveland.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Might have. Let me
Okay.
see.
That one I'm not sure about. I would have not guessed Cleveland
Siri.
just for LeBron.
Did LeBron win the MVP in Cleveland?
Let's see what the internet has to say
Also,
about
He won it back-to-back in Cleveland. Okay.
yeah,
Son of a
that's what I
bitch,
say.
I thought he just won them all in Miami.
Nah.
Well, he won all his finals MVPs there, except for the one that year.
Did Dwight Howard never won MVP? Did he? So Orlando.
No,
Like
deep
4
defensive
times.
player. Ooh.
Yeah.
Because Shaq didn't win
No,
it
he
in
didn't win it.
Orlando.
He won it in
He
LA.
won it in
Well,
LA.
you probably say all the expansion teams in because I know Toronto's never had one.
It's true.
That's probably true.
And in Memphis,
Well, Memphis definitely.
New Orleans,
Has Charlotte ever had one?
probably not.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I would guess it would be the Alonzo Mourning or Grandma Ma days would have been your best bet
But they
at
didn't-
an MVP in Charlotte, but I don't think either of those guys ever won a league MVP.
How about New Jersey?
The Nets? Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, did Daryl Dawkins win one back in the day? That's about I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, what you got?
Did Julius win one there? Oh, that was the
Oh, in
Sixers.
I want to say that's with Philly.
Did the Sixers? Okay.
That's my guess, though. I don't know that for a fact, but that's a good question. All right, real quick on this audio. They were getting ready Prime Video, the NBA on Prime crew. They were all juiced up and ready to have this big MVP announcement. I bet you that they probably were excited to be able to say in our first year covering the NBA, we have the MVP announcement. It's exclusive on Prime. And this is how that went.
All right, now, just to be clear, the official announcement is happening here. Dirk and Steve, you all both won MVPs, but I don't remember Sham spoiling it way back then.
I don't think he was around. He was a baby then.
What are we doing, man? Like, it's Sunday, Shams. Go to brunch, you nerd. Come on.
So Shams came out about, what was it, like 2 hours before the broadcast went on. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has won their second consecutive league MVP. Sources have told ESPN.
Yep.
It goes super viral and kind of dumps on Prime's announcement that they're going to have the official MVP announcement.
Then I saw.
They were not too happy. Blake Griffin, by the way, taking the shot, calling him a nerd, telling him to go to brunch.
So then he made an appearance on, I believe, NBA Countdown with Malika.
And she introduced him.
And she was like, back from brunch
Is
is Shams Charania. And he didn't look like he was amused at all.
"Oh,
No, not at all.
dude, now here's the thing. I have no problem with this. I really don't care. That's his job.
Yeah.
His job's to, and we're in the culture of who has it first. Like that, it's a shitty culture. I don't love it, but it's the culture of we have to be first. We got to be first. And Shams' job, literally his entire freaking job,
Right.
is to have it first. That's what he gets paid for.
But think about.
So he ain't gonna sit on news like that because Prime's
Oh.
got the announcement.
But think about this.
Hold on, Rob's cooking something. What are you?
What you
cooking?
got?
The league office is doing this. You know, Prime gives a lot of fucking money, Shams. Do that shit again.
Oh, you think he got a call from Adam?
I'm going to put a note out, don't fucking talk to Shams. You know we did it to a lot of other motherfuckers.
Oh, no.
But you got to understand, that they set that up for Prime
They did.
to have that announcement.
Because it was they're getting all the money.
Shams fucked it up. He fucked it up. And you think about it, that's and like the people if I'm the people at Prime, I just made a call to Adams. I said, yo, we giving you all this fucking money. You better tell Shams to get in his lane. Because they don't, and I know it's a lot of other things he can do, but that's one of the things that was supposed to be ours. And so you think about that.
Maybe.
If you Prime,
Yeah.
you pissed because you just fucked it up for them. Because you got to have some kind of authority.
But the thing, we live in this time of, like Jennings was saying, being first. Do you remember when Woj was still doing his thing before Shams came over to ESPN? He was still over at The Athletic. It was always a battle on social media, at least amongst the general public. Who would be able to get the scoop first, Woj or Shams? And it would always go back and forth and back between the two. So I think with Shams, it's almost damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he says something before everybody else, some people are going to have an issue with it. But if it's news that people think that Shams should be the first one to break and he doesn't, some people are going to say, oh, Shams isn't as great as he used to be. He's losing his fastball. So the public perception of who he is versus who he's not is going to take a hit one way or another. And look, I get it. Amazon pays a whole lot of money. I'd do the same thing. If that's what Rob is saying that they did, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not mad at them either if I'm giving the NBA all this money. I'm not mad. But I also look at it from the standpoint of Shams. Public perception, at least on social media, if I'm not breaking this big news, That's huge news. If I'm not the one breaking it, then people out there are going to think I'm losing my fastball.
But here's the thing: is you don't have to break news of everything.
That's a job.
But but here's the thing: is that's your job. But everything you don't have to break the news to, and that's what the NBA is saying. Hey, we allow so many things for you to break that you shouldn't break.
Woj did it.
And but Woj was like,
But also,
you can't burn your bread just to get it first.
Right,
know?
But now keep in mind with Woj. Woj was doing it in an era before there was a Prime deal.
True. I get
before there was a new NBC deal.
I get it.
We talked a lot about the fact that the NBA was renegotiating all their TV rights and all their broadcast rights in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So to Rob's point, if Prime was given this with and look, SGA made his first appearance. They made the announcement. They had him on immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
So this was all structured. It was all built this way for Prime to be the spotlight. Broadcast here, and you have a couple of former MVPs and Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki being able to talk to him after the announcement is made, and Shams just blew that whole thing up. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Prime picked up a phone and called ESPN or called the league.
Hey, you fuck around, be like, what's the guy now that they used to do the NBA and they kicked his ass out on NBC? He does boxing now.
Max Kellerman?
No, not Max. The other one. Shit.
He does boxing.
You're talking about Jim Gray.
Jim Gray? Not Jim Gray.
You remember Jim Gray was before a lot of people, and all of a sudden it was the other guy they kicked out. Then it became Jim Gray, and everybody like, oh, you fucked up, you out of here. You fucked up, you out of here. So Shams, you make your living doing this. So don't cross the line that don't do that anymore.
Like you say, if that is the case, I could see it happening. But if that is the case, we don't know for sure.
Yeah,
then I get it. But
if you petty like me, I'm calling like, yo, you tell Shams stay in his lane.
Well, clearly they weren't happy about it.
No.
I mean, clearly they had to go on their broadcast and eat some crow and go, hey, I know that this is out in the world, but we have the official announcement, so I don't know what you guys have heard or where you got it from. But look, it's his job. I think that you're right, Rob. I think there's corporate politics here that are going to need to be addressed. But if you're Shams and you get a piece of juicy information, just because it's tied to another network, what's he supposed to do? Is he not supposed to report it?
That's the thing.
Is he supposed to sit on it? ESPN, for whatever they are nowadays, they're still a media outlet.
Write it all up, and as soon as Prime goes on, you do it at the same time. Send. So, hey, we broke at the same time, So you just got to know your role and shut your mouth. Sometimes.
You're right, but
thank you, The Rock.
But
yeah.
I agree, but if I'm thinking from the standpoint of Shams, I do know my role. And my role is to be the biggest and most informative insider in sports. Next to Adam Schefter, I am the biggest and most informative insider in all of sports. Now, obviously, it was right, but obviously this was a ask for forgiveness rather than permission type of thing because this is my job. This is what I do, especially for the NBA. He even got into breaking some NFL news at times, just like Adam Schefter delved into breaking NBA news at times. These guys have no bounds because these sources provide them with things and which allow them to do their job. And for them to pull back on stuff, that's not what they're used to doing.
Yeah,
that's just not what they're used to doing.
It's not what they're used to, but every moment has a certain situation to arise.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that you fucking with the NBA's money.
Well,
that's
again,
all I'm saying.
To Harp's note, when he did go on Countdown, I think it was Countdown, he didn't look happy.
He didn't.
So I'm willing to bet you he probably got dressed down by his bosses about stepping on somebody's crank. You know what I mean?
It's a thing called blackballing. He go out to all the owners and says, if I find a fucking leak that goes out to Sham now, he just cost us this big Prime deal. You're going to have some problems.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, let him break news that we don't care about. You know what I mean? Roster moves, trades, don't give a shit about that. But when the league's got money involved, don't you dare.
One thing. We asked you for one thing.
I'm pretty sure this is something that he'll talk about maybe in a book or at some point in time when it's all said and done, this moment.
About the call he got?
Yeah. He'll talk about it.
Yeah. All right, a couple other things we got to do before we do Big Shot and the game this week. Game this week, by the way, is going to be called Championship Connection. I'm going to give you guys a team. You just have to tell me, did anybody on this team play with Robert Horry? So,
Pause.
Hey, yo.
Lord
All right.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
Well, Harp, you use every time I say something that's kind of borderline, you like pause.
Yeah, but that one was we understand the context of that one. I think with some stuff you be doing, it be like,
What you trying to say? I got some
what?
tendencies over here. What you trying to say?
You said nothing.
Okay.
Do you have tendencies?
Hell no.
Oh, okay, we good then.
This was going down a weird path for a minute. I'm glad we stopped this. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Look.
Just all my exes in Texas.
All right.
I don't know what y'all are doing in Texas, but all right, let's steer this thing back on the road. Jamal Mosley, new Pelicans head coach.
That was fast.
That was real fast. That man was out of work for like a week.
Yeah.
He got fired on the 4th after the Game 7 loss to Detroit, and he got hired the other day as the new Pelicans head coach. Good. What do you think? Good hire?
Yeah, it's a good hire for the Pelicans. I don't know why he would want to go there.
Yeah. He's got a lot of work to do.
But his thing is like, for me, is like, don't you, when you sign with a new team, they prorate your contract or whatever it is, so like the other team doesn't have to pay you. Or
no, yeah. There's money still owed to him. I think that is coming out of Orlando's pocket, if I'm not mistaken, the way the deal was set up. So they get a little bit of. They're probably going to get a little bit of break on the money.
Yeah, because you think of guys like Monty. I'm like, he's sitting out there. Monty's like, fucking, I ain't coaching no more.
Monty don't need to coach. Monty's catching a couple of paychecks and get paid. And get paid for it.
Could you see?
I would love to see him back in the league. I just think Monty had.
I think he's a good coach. I think he's had a couple bad shakes.
Could you see Jason Kidd taking the Magic job?
Yeah, I could.
I could see that. You know,
it's a young squad. Needs a little veteran leadership. I think J. Kidd kind of fits that role, right?
Yeah, but I think with me, you know, when you watch J. Kidd, he kind of was on the cusp of trying to make Pooper Flag something special. You know, and I think if you think about it, if you go to Orlando, you got another guy that's kind of in the same mode with Banchero, and he's already has like that kind of experience and a little bit more maturity and a little bit better body. So it might be interesting if they
I don't think that's a bad move, though.
I think Orlando might go with a fresh face, though. Somebody new, you know.
Doc Rivers.
No. I said fresh face.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said retread. My bad. Yeah, no. All right. Well,
ain't a lot of tread left on that tire, boy.
No, there is.
Hey, that motherfucker going down the freeway with sparks coming. That shit on the rim.
He has a bald. His tire's been blown out for a while. I got a question for you specifically, and I want to play this Jalen Brown, Stephen A. Smith audio because it cracks me up. But before we get to that, did you have any problem with Anthony Edwards dapping up the Spurs? He did it with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter of that game. They knew they were going to lose. I'm going to play you the audio from the game broadcast just for context here.
This is not something that you would often see at the 8:01 mark of the fourth quarter of a closeout game. But Anthony Edwards, knowing that Chris Finch is going to empty the bench, made his way to the San Antonio bench and dapped up players, coaches, one by one.
I want to know what. All I want to know is I want to hear Udonis Haslem comment on that in the postgame show.
Yeah.
I would much rather see him wait till the end of the game.
Yeah, so he knew he was coming out of the game, and I think that was his justification after the game was, that was pretty much it for me. I think I was going to hit the bench, and I wasn't going to see the floor again, so I wanted to do that then.
Yeah.
I love Ant-Man.
I do too.
Didn't love the timing of that, though.
If I'm a coach, when he starts walking back, I just keep going. Just keep on going. You already dapped him up. Just take your ass in the locker room.
Okay.
Do what you need to. Just keep on going.
Yeah.
Just keep on going. And for me, it's you kind of, embarrassing your team. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You should be over here on that bench talking about, everybody go off season coming up. We fucking fought hard. We see we need to work on.
Well, hold on. There was 8 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't necessarily a close game, but in the same heartbeat, you got time on the clock.
Yeah, but they waved the white flag.
I know, but I mean, still, though.
No, but he shouldn't have been over there dapping him up. That's what I'm saying.
No, he shouldn't have been. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, too.
You keep playing till the end of the game. You keep playing till the game. I mean, the Knicks showed you that last night. You play till the game is over.
We've seen this before. It wasn't with 8 minutes, but it was about 4 and some change when LeBron did this. And I think with the one year they played Cleveland in the finals and they lost. LeBron was over there. I think he was checking out. Went over there, tapped everybody on the butt. Now, I don't think he walked directly over to their bench, but you saw him tapping everybody on the butt. Nice game. But it was like 4 minutes and some change left.
I remember what you're talking about, but I don't think it was this was different for me because Ant crossed that floor. Like he was over heading toward the bench, turned around, crossed the whole floor to go over to their side of the floor.
Hey.
LeBron's thing was more like he's checking out. There's guys crossing paths with him, and he's kind of, okay, all right, yeah.
Hey, I thought he was punch drunk and had a concussion and went to the wrong bench.
Yeah, that man's going to the wrong bench.
Like, what the fuck you No, you over there, son. You over there.
He could have waited till after the game.
I would have waited.
But here's the thing. Let's see what we got about. They just lost. Let me just say this. That's going to be a open job too. Watch.
Finch, you think Finch is gone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a lot of rumblings over there too. So watch.
Well, there's two rumblings. I've seen a lot of rumblings too about Minnesota trying to make some moves in the offseason to bolster that roster a little bit too. So, I mean, our buddy Scoop B was on the show last week. Kind of put some rumblings out about
Scoop B put some
possible Giannis moves involving Minnesota and some other stuff. So,
well, there's one more move that he mentioned some hours ago about Minnesota inquiring about Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I saw that too, and apparently at Ant's request of him.
Yeah, an Ant's request.
So, I love Scoop. I don't know where he's heard that from, but, we always know that rumors tend to raise their heads sometimes.
What's that time of year?
Yeah.
That time of year.
You're going to hear a lot of stuff.
Once guys
I can't wait for the draft to see all the shit that goes down.
Oh, my goodness. All right, real quick, audio of the week before we do Big Shot in the game. Jalen Brown.
Versus Stephen A. Smith?
Versus Stephen A. So, apparently, Stephen A. Told Jaylen he needs to be quiet in the wake of them losing the way they lost to the Sixers. And this is what we got for Jalen Brown.
Fuck Stephen A. Stephen A, Stephen B,
Stephen C.
Stephen C. Like, my offer still stands. You want me to be quiet and stop streaming? Well, I want you to be quiet and get off these networks. Because you're not using your platform to do real journalism. You're using your platform to use clickbait.
Get your ass a studio. You looking like you in some dungeon, some little room or whatever. You making $54 million a year. You're gonna make 57 next year, 61 the year after that, 67 the year after that. You're in the midst of a $304 million contract. Get a studio with a director and a producer. Call it up, clips of mine, the computer ain't even working right, can't even get the full sound up in there. Get that together.
I do like that was Stephen A's.
Well, Stephen A., I will say this. That's not how streaming works. Like, streaming is, yes, there are people who have their streams look differently, but how Jaylen is doing his stream is how a lot of popular streamers do that. This is not a network TV station or studio. That's not how that works per se. So this is a little different. He has the right to say Jaylen got the right to say what he wants to say.
And so does Stephen A.
He does. Yeah. But Stephen A is everybody hates Stephen A now. There aren't many people who still like Stephen A. Smith right now. There's not a lot of athletes who are still very fond of Stephen A. Smith. And I'm not saying he's wrong about everything, but
look, I think that a lot of athletes confuse ESPN for a journalistic outlet still.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to take a shot at ESPN, but ESPN is an opinion-based network now. It's not reporting the facts. It's not being fair. It's who's going to have the hottest take. It's going to be Stephen A. Smith. Great. Put him front and center. He's going to have the most to say about Jaylen Brown. That's what people are looking for. I mean, look, and you know it when you scroll through social media. Almost everything we see related to sports media nowadays is what's the hottest clickbait topic we can put out there. We do it from this show. Shit, Rob will say something kind of controversial. I'm like, I'm cutting that up, putting that on social media. That's the first thing I think. So I'm guilty of it too. But,
you're supposed to.
Jaylen, you can't take that stuff personal. It's his job. Mm-hmm. His job's to talk crap on people.
Yeah.
And I think what people also get confused by, everything is that person's point of view, that person's opinion. So nobody's saying it's the Bible and it's the gospel and that he's right. It's just his opinion. That's why when someone who's never played the sport wants to say something and you have to cover a million other sports, and then you want to talk about my sport, I look and say, okay, good for you. And I move on. That's someone that, let's say that's Michael Jordan that said something. I'm like, well, damn, I need to assess what you said and think about it. But for someone who's never played the sport, who just has an opinion on it, that can't shoot a free throw, can't shoot a jump shot, man, fuck off. I don't give a shit what you say.
Exactly.
Because you've never been in a situation before. You don't have the mindset. And the other thing is you don't know what's going through my mind or my heart at the time. So I can give two shits of what you think. And that's what most players have to do. Everybody's opinion. Now, if I'm looking at Chuck, Kenny and Shaq, I might care about it unless they start laughing and joking. But somebody like Stephen A., anybody he hasn't played the game at a high level, give a shit what you say. That's just your opinion. And it's just like water on a duck's back. I'm going to let that shit roll off and move on.
Yeah. And Jaylen took it to heart. And I think a lot of guys take that stuff to heart. So you got to start letting that stuff go. You got to let that go, man. You got to let that go. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week and then play the game. Big Shot of the Week for me. This one's a little personal. It hits home in the sense that it's an Atlanta Braves player. Atlanta Braves utility man Mauricio Dubón, and here's why. So Dubon's a new addition to the Braves. He's a utility guy. I love a utility guy in baseball anyway. A guy who can play outfield, second base, whatever. You need me to pitch? Throw me in. I don't care. Let's go. He was talking about the grounds crew the other day in his post-game interview. Of all the things to talk about in the post-game interview, he was talking about how hard the grounds crew works.
And I see those guys working in after games, before games, coming in here, leaving the field around 11, 12 a.m., then coming back here at 9 a.m. And, it's an everyday thing, you got this. Sometimes you get concerts here and everything, and then they're making sure we get everything, I mean, it's hard work, man, and, sometimes it goes unnoticed.
So we've learned, too, from somebody who works across the street here, because by the way, for those of you who may not know, Harper and I work at a radio station that's located in the Battery, Atlanta, where the Braves play. So the Battery is the complex around Truist Park. That's where our studios are. Rob's been up here a couple times. That apparently Dubón buys lunch for the grounds crew and dinner for them on a regular basis. Just to show appreciation for guys that don't get much of it. The fact that he even talked about him in postgame is wild to me. And then he goes out, apparently, and this is what we've learned from people around here, that he will go out on a fairly regular basis and just, 20, 25 guys out there working on the grounds and bring back dinner.
There you go.
Just make sure everybody get paid.
Take care of your people.
I think that's awesome, man. So I gave him Big Shot of the Week. As soon as I heard that, I was like, that's freaking cool, man.
And I'll say this, and this might be because I'm biased, but I think around the league, they're known by this as well. The Braves probably had the best grounds crew in all of baseball. They do not play about their field. I worked directly for the Braves. I have been on their field plenty of times while I worked for the Braves.
You know what they tell you 9 times out of 10 when you go over there? Don't touch the grass.
Don't touch that grass.
Don't go near the grass.
Don't not touch that grass.
You can walk all around the dirt here. You can get in the dugout. You can dance on top of it. Don't you dare go near that grass.
Don't you dare touch that grass. They
They
don't play about the grass. Some of them love the grass probably more than they love their kids. They don't play about that grass.
Yeah.
But I like that.
I love that. I have some stories similar to that because when I was with the Lakers, I had this guy who was always clean up our locker room. And I would always just give him a high five. Every now and then I give him $100. And it got to a point where he would come down and he knew I like pretzels before a game. I just eat half. He'll bring me a pretzel.
Sure.
And here's the funny part. He spoke no English. I spoke no Spanish. But when we saw each other, we would smile, high five, and we had Rudy, who was the equipment manager. Rudy, tell him I said thank you. And Rudy looked at me, well, damn it, don't you know I say thank you in Spanish? But I might want to I might want to talk to him a little bit more. Yeah. And he was just the nicest guy. He said he always say something in Spanish, and I look at Rudy. He says, "Are you doing all right?" He says, "Are you ready for the game?" I said, "Yeah, tonight I'm ready." It was just one of those situations, man, because people don't understand the people who work in these arenas and these fields. They are so important for you not to get hurt because they make sure everything stays tip top. And for him to go out and say thank you and that I appreciate you, it means a lot. Especially for him to buy them food. Yeah. I'm sure them guys they'll do anything for him. So big ups.
Yeah, and as a utility guy, he's not a star player on the team or anything. Like he's not Acuna or any of those dudes that are playing. He's a freaking utility guy.
Right.
But he gets the position he's in and he's thankful for it. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. All right, Rob, repeat after me. Gracias. Okay.
Gracias.
Gracias.
No, gracias. No, gracias.
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 You saying
Gracias? Jesus.
That's a joke. It's from Blue Street.
I'm like you're married to a Mexican. Jesus.
and you live in L.A. This is a problem.
Gracias, senor.
Jeez.
Gracias, senor Brandon Harper.
You're letting people on the East Coast tell you about Spanish that you should be learning.
He's kidding. He's kidding. He's joking.
No, he don't be knowing no Spanish.
In a house full of Mexicans, you should be able to say thank you. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm like that. Drake just came out, but I'm still like they couldn't. What they talking about? That's what
yeah.
What they talking about? G?
Wait, I heard my name.
Does your wife speak to you in Spanish when she's upset or something like? Did she ever like say things in Spanish and you don't understand it? What she talking about?
No, because she want to make sure I understand what she's saying. So I can walk out of the room.
I don't want any uncertainty in this. So when I was in college, my roommate was a guy named Hisham was his name, who spoke Arabic, and he would call his father, and he was fluent like 5 languages, super smart guy, and he would call his dad, and he would have this whole conversation in Arabic, but then I would occasionally hear my name. And he'd be like, Rob Jenners. And I'm like, what? No, whatever you're saying about me, you say that shit in English. I want to know what you're talking about. So,
that's wild.
All right, this week's game's called Championship Connection. Pretty easy. I'm just going to give you guys a year and a team. We just have to guess, did Robert Horry play with anyone on this team? Okay, these are championship teams. So we're going to start with the 1996 Chicago Bulls. NBA champions. Rob's still in the league. Did Robert Horry play with anybody on the 96 Bulls? Rob, do you remember?
I actually played with 2 people on that team.
You played with 2 people on the 96 Bulls, Rob says.
Was Ron Harper on the 96 Bulls? Did you play? You played with Ron Harper? Yeah.
Ron Harper was on the 96 Bulls? How about that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he won 5 titles.
He did. Okay.
Ron Harper and... Did you play with Rodman? Yeah, him and Ron Harper and Dennis Rodman.
Yes, there were. I've said Rob does share a championship connection with the 96 Bulls.
One more player on that team.
Oh, you said 2.
Who else?
Well, I forgot about Rodman.
Okay.
Jason Cathy.
Oh, Cathy.
Oh, there you go. All right, there you go. All right.
We played in college together. Does that count?
No,
Sure.
this is...
No,
this
I
is
was
the
thinking
league.
NBA, but yeah.
Oh,
okay.
No,
All right.
I'm thinking in the league. All right. The 2003, we'll start with Harp this time. The 2003 San Antonio Spurs. Did Robert Horry play with anybody on the 2003 San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah. Tim? That was... Yeah, Duncan? Did you play with Ginobili? Everybody, you on the team.
Rob played with most of the rosters.
Yeah,
in 2003.
wait a minute. I'm struggling. Wait a minute.
Everybody's like double thinking.
Weren't you there? Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, he wasn't there in 03.
Yeah.
But you played with most of that team.
Season or 2 later.
Yeah.
I'm about to sit up here and name all the people.
I wanted to see if you would overthink it.
I did. I definitely did.
All overthinking it. Everyone's like, all right.
Bruce Bowen?
The 2004 Detroit Pistons.
Ooh.
So, Rob, I guess here's the thing. If I let Rob go first, he's probably going to get the answer right, you'd think.
I think one player on that team.
Okay, Rob thinks 1. Harp.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2?
Yeah. I think 2. I think 2.
He thinks. Harp, did Rob play with anyone on the 2004 Detroit Pistons?
Yeah, I think.
He's going to roll with Rob. Rob, who are you thinking?
I think it was, Lindsey Hunter was on that team?
Not sure.
Eldon Campbell?
Eldon Campbell's the one I have, yeah, for
Okay.
sure. I know it was Eldon Campbell, yeah. I don't know if Lindsey was on that roster, but I did have Eldon Campbell for sure.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I think Lindsey was on that team.
Was he? God, I don't even remember.
Was it 2004?
2004 championship Pistons, yeah. 2003, 2004 Pistons. All right, how about Harper? The 2006 Miami Heat.
Yeah, well, he played with Shaq.
Yeah, that's the obvious
one.
I'm trying to remember if you can remember just Shaq went to the Heat in 06. Yeah. And then Gary Payton as well.
And yeah,
GP was on there as well. And
I didn't play with Gary Payton.
You didn't play at all with GP?
No, because GP was with the Lakers in 04.
Oh, that's right. That was right after you left. There was a year after you left the Lakers. That's right.
Okay. So it's only one.
Yeah, so it was Shaquille.
Did you never play with Did you never play with James Posey?
No.
Okay, I didn't think he was Posey.
Was Keith Askins on that team?
I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, he never played with GP.
You're going deep in the roster there.
Well, Keith Askins played together in college, so.
Oh, well, there you go. That didn't count anyway. All right.
It didn't count.
Rob, The 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Did you play with anybody on the 2011 Dallas Mavericks?
Yes.
I think you played with one.
One guy.
Finley. Didn't you play with Michael?
He wasn't on that team.
Oh, okay.
I played with Michael. He wasn't on that team.
Oh, that's back.
One guy. Yes, one guy.
Should we know?
Yeah, you should know. I only played 2 games with this kid.
Oh, damn.
Jason Kidd.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, you played 2 games with Jason.
Yeah. In Phoenix. You remember I played together in Phoenix. Yeah.
Damn.
Jason Kidd. Yeah.
All right.
Jason Kidd was on that team, right?
He was? Yeah, Dirk, Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Tyson
that's the
Chandler?
only person.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Jason Kidd.
Okay. The 2013 Miami Heat. The 2013 NBA champion, Miami Heat.
This person got to be old.
Look, some of these might just be a flat out no.
I don't think anybody from that team played with Rob.
Rob, did you play with anybody on the roster of the 2013 Miami Heat?
Shit. I'm gonna say no.
And that is the first one. No shared teammates.
Well, they ain't got
as
no
far as
cartilage
I
in their
found.
knees.
No.
Hey, you sound like Kevin. Damn.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus, boy.
What you mean?
All right, last one. I was going to say the 2009 LA Lakers, but I want to say that you played with most of that roster. No, there's guys on this. That was Kobe still there. You played with
D Fish was still there.
Fish was still there.
Yeah.
All right.
Just 2.
All right.
Those 2.
Ready?
Yeah.
The 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers.
I say 1.
2016 Cavs. I mean, it could be 1. I just don't know who the 1 is.
Rob?
Should we know?
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't put anybody on the Cavs.
I was going to say I don't. I'm like Rob. You know something I don't because I have none. I have 0 from the 2016 Cavs. So I'm like you're going deep into a roster. He's like a bench guy that got signed and played a game and a half or some shit for the Cavs.
No.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that was a big negatory. But I'm good memory on you. You were pulling the guys that you played with the whole way. That's pretty strong, man. Damn.
Hey, you know it's weird because a lot of the teams you look at that won championships. It was either the 8 through 1 that kind of moved on went to another team. If it was anything past 8,
that was it.
They weren't in the league long enough to,
Yeah, to carry on down the line. Yeah, so you can really look at the superstar, really the guys that made it through that lasted a long time. But yeah, there you go. You played with plenty of these. Did you? Do you remember? Wasn't there a streak going or something that you had connections to somebody in the NBA finals?
Steve Kerr. For 10 years in a row, either Steve Kerr or I won the NBA championship.
That's right. That's crazy.